Are we live? Is anybody out there? Can anybody hear me? Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to Caliber Corner episode number 146. It is a new day. It is a new morning. Did you lock your doors last night? That's a question I have for you because today's topic is going to be home defense 101. I got about 4 or 5 major areas that we're going to discuss in the next hour. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit time limited. And no, I'm not broadcasting from my usual area because we have a little family project that we're going to work on today. But let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started and let the panel introduce themselves. So let's go in the order that these guys showed up. New to the panel today, we've got a little G23 going on. G23, how you doing, man?
Doing great, and thanks for the invite.
No problem. You got a little channel you want to plug or any podcast you want to let the world know about?
I have a stream that goes on Saturday evenings about 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern.
Right on, man. What kind of topics do you guys cover?
Pretty much everything. I mean, we do guns, we do, stuff that's going on in the society,
Cool.
just two-way related stuff. We just, kind of BS around, it's kind of open forum.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here, and this is kind of a spur of the moment thing, so I appreciate you joining me. We got a lot of people that are busy this morning, so there's going to be a lot of people you won't be seeing on the show, and that's fine. It's going to be a busy weekend for a lot of people, so G23, I'm glad you're here, man. All right. And then also joining in, a little AWAG. AWAG's with us for a little while here. AWAG, what's new in your world? How's it going?
Same old, just, playing with night vision and things. So
I know you keep posting videos and stuff over on Instagram, and that's pretty amazing, man. Some of that nighttime footage, like up in the sky and stuff, it's crazy how Now you got me looking at night vision. I was over on there's a discount website called Devor, DVOR.
Okay.
And they have all kinds of gear and equipment. They had a whole night vision section. I was looking at it for like an hour.
Yeah. That's a rabbit hole in itself. Guns and ammo is expensive. Then you get into like optics, that's a little more expensive. Then you get into night vision and infrared lasers, and then it's just completely different rabbit hole. You're looking from, your general Honda Civic of the gun world, and then you're just going straight into the supercars.
Yep, it gets expensive quick. I mean, I know it's worth it, but it's amazing how you can basically get mil-spec, military grade night vision. That's just, oh man, I'd love to have it. I need to get something, either like just a set of a monocular or binocular or something that I can use. That's the best around,
thing you can get is a monocular. I have 2 monoculars right now that I like playing with, and that's essentially all you need. But there are people that do the dual tubes. Mm-hmm. There's a handful of sets of the quad tube stuff floating around. That's like hypercar territory. That's like $30,000 for a set of quad night vision.
Oh my God, that's like some Rainbow Six stuff there.
Yeah.
What surprises me the most about it though is just the quality, and a lot of people don't realize how dark your neighborhood can get when the power goes off. If you've ever been in a neighborhood where the power's gone off and you're in your car, it's like, oh my God, where'd the light go? Because there's no street lights. There's no ambient light from anything. It's just pitch black, and it's your headlights. And that can be kind of freaky, man.
I should have gotten a video. I was at my buddy's soybean field a couple nights ago, and there was a tree line about 1,000 yards away. This soybean is huge. It was completely pitch black. Through your naked eyes, you couldn't maybe see past 200 yards. I mean, there was a half moon, half moon out, so there was some ambient light. But I showed him my buddy the white phosphorus night vision. You could see clean to that tree line, and you can make out things that were definite. Like there was a tractor that was pushed up against the tree line, and there was a couple other farm implements there that you could actually make out hey, that's a tractor over there.
That's awesome, man. I think we need to have a night vision only discussion. I need to do some research on it, and I can bring some gear up, and you can help me decide on what I need to go with.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and last but not least to join in, we got a little Defense Dad today. Defense Dad, how's it going, man?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Doing good. So did you stay up late last night, put in that EPT trigger or not?
No, I didn't. I actually I got suckered in some late night TV, so I stayed up a little bit late.
There you go. There you go. All right, man. Cool. Hey, let's see who's joining in over on the YouTube side today. We got a lot of people out there. We got M. Gabriel's out there, Nighthawk Medic, Keith Gregory, Irish Wristwatches out there, Net Flutters out there, Fiendog 27, Iron Horseman, Defense Dad's over there and over here. Joe Ziola's out there, John Lowell's out there, AWAG's out there and over here. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy in the house, Aaron Mortensen, Single Shot. I think I included you in the email this morning if you want to join in, bud. If not, it's all good. Carolina EDC Reviews. And let's see, G23. I think that's pretty much about it. So the topic we're going to talk about today is Home Defense 101, and it goes beyond just having a bedside gun, okay? I don't know where I think this idea came from the list of suggested topics, but I remember watching a show a couple of years ago, and I don't even know what channel it was on. There was a guy who was a convicted thief, burglar, and people would try to secure their homes, and they kind of had a bet where they would try to keep him out. And this guy was able to get into just like everybody's house. It was amazing how easy he made it look. And a lot of the times, it just simply comes down to making sure you've got every single window and every single door locked. So many people would have two-story homes, older homes, and they would have, like, you could practically slip open the window lock with a credit card, or they would simply have the second story, windows or patio doors not locked because you're thinking, oh, it's up off the ground, I'm totally safe. Plus, with everything going on and a lot of people being home and all the civil unrest out there, it's probably a good idea to make sure that your castle is locked down and secure. So first and foremost, just make sure you lock your doors. I moved from a smaller town of about 10,000 people, but in a lot of the neighborhoods, people would always have their front doors open, and you would always read about burglaries that would happen in the neighborhood. And a lot of the times it was because they left a garage door unlocked, like a side door, or they would leave a patio door unlocked when they'd run to the store. And people that are casing neighborhoods will be looking for patterns of when you leave and when you come home to try to get into your home. There was one gal who had, I don't know she just went for a walk, and somebody had broken into her home, grabbed a bunch of stuff out of her house. Swear to God, this happened in the town that I moved. Threw it in her car, opened the garage door, and drove out and stole her car. And I mean, like, it is just crazy what people do anymore. So first and foremost, just lock the door. So guys on the panel, just throw some basic suggestions out there. We're going to talk about dogs, alarm systems, firearms choices, code words for the family if you have an intruder. What are some of the basics that people forget about, guys? What do you think?
Well, everyone focuses on like a lot of the nighttime events. You realize that a lot of the burglaries that happen during the day.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the majority of what we would have would happen when people would be off at work. In the town that I lived in, the bulk of the population worked an A shift or a B shift in a packing plant. And, I think a lot of people would know when somebody's out of the house. Another thing I would say is if you get like a huge TV or a new stereo, whatever, I don't even know if people buy stereos anymore. Don't show that stuff off on Facebook, and don't tell people when you're out of town on Facebook. That's the worst thing you can do is say, oh, we're in the Bahamas. And it's like, oh, where's this guy live? It might be a friend of a friend who sees your post or somebody who's desperate. I don't know. Defense Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, if you're going to post your vacation videos, post them after you're back. One of the biggest things that people miss out and don't realize, though, is something as simple as people don't realize how short the screws are in the hinges of your front and your side doors. So, like, I just moved, and the first thing I did, even though I'm in an apartment complex, I sank 3.5-inch screws into each one of my hinges on my front and my back door, because that makes it harder for them to kick it in.
Yeah, when I first moved into our older house, that was one of the first things we did was beef up the door hinges with like some larger carpenter screws and stuff like that. Hey, we got somebody new joining in today. Who's joining in? Who is that? Who's over here? Who just joined in? You want to give us an intro real quick? Not sure. Yep.
Missouri Patriots back.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man. It's been a while.
Oh, busy morning, huh?
Dude.
Hey, you want to give us a little introduction real quick, or if you got a YouTube channel or some content out there you want to plug?
I don't have a channel. I just kind of watch you guys, and whenever I can, I like to jump in here. It's been a while, but hopefully I can get in here more often.
Cool, man. All right. Well, appreciate you being here. So So Defense Dad, back to you. We're talking about reinforcing those hinges. Defense Dad, what do you think about the like the upgraded door handles and bolt locks and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something simple. If you just have cheap, basic handles and locks, that's an inexpensive update, provided you're allowed to do it. I'm in a rental, so there's only certain things I can do, but don't if you're doing, especially if you're doing a remodeling project, don't just get the cheapest door set and lock set that you can get. Get ones that actually are going to be secure.
And a lot of people don't realize your door only locks into the frame set in the door. I mean, I'm not a carpenter, but like working in my garage, upgrading the door handles and stuff. And then in the house, if you've just got like almost like a balsa wood frame on your door, it's very easy to kick that. And you see a million home intruder videos where the guy does this like reverse weird back kick thing and it busts the door open. But for starters, having more beefier screws that actually go into like the studs of the door frame, that makes a huge difference right there. We bought some of the Brinks door handles at Walmart that were like a level 2 or level 3 secure, which, I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but it's a start when you can have something that somebody can't shove open with their shoulder, I think.
Right.
And so that, that's a big one. First and foremost, make sure you got everything locked. Okay. Make sure you have everything locked before you go to bed. Or if you got a door that's janky or doesn't lock properly, fix it. Okay. I think that's very important. Oh, hey, Single Shot is here. Single Shot, how you doing, man?
Hey, buddy. How are ya?
We're doing okay. So quick, you want to go ahead and give us an introduction here and let us know about you? It's the first time you've been on the show.
Yeah, I live in Maine. I'm a truck driver, and once in a while I get a chance to join in on the conversations here, either on the side chat or by invite. And thanks for the invite, too, by the way.
Yeah, you did find the link. It was down below the list. I either put it at the very top or at the bottom. It's just a single line of text, so okay.
Yep, that's right. My forte is single-shot weapons, but I still do have ARs and pistols and revolvers. So you'll be seeing some of those on my videos here right soon. And
cool.
The link is as such. It's the single-shot, 2 words with an exclamation point after the T.
Okay.
Come join me anytime.
We'll get you moderator status. So you can post links in the gun channel or in the chat that we have. You can post your link to your channel over there. Once we give you the blue wrench, then we can get you set up so you can put links to your videos and channel and stuff like that and get yourself promoted. So
thank you.
Well, no problem, man. And also joining in, Night Strike. What is going on? Long time no see, buddy.
Yep. Long time no see. Travis?
Yes.
I did check the tracking. The package is in Omaha, so you may get it today.
Today, good. Yes, that'll be awesome. I can't wait to try it out. Do you want to let people know what you sent me? Do you want to let people know what kind of product is out there that they can purchase?
Yeah. Right now, I'm doing a semi-fundraiser for GunTube to help get GunTube some money and get me just a little bit too, because things aren't going as well. So what I did is I got some military surplus CLP. I've repackaged it into GunTube Lube CLP. So go to store.guntube.org and buy a bottle. It's, shipping is included in the price, and it's just gun oil, guys. It's everything we need.
And I've been having trouble sourcing it at the local sporting goods store. Always seems to be sold out of CLP, which is one of my favorites. So.
I normally get break-free CLP from Walmart whenever I go to Walmart, and they've been empty the past 7 months. It's ridiculous. I have to buy my stuff online now. So,
and there's a lot of other stuff out there. I think that Lucas Oil makes something for SIG, if I'm not mistaken. I got a couple cans of that stuff. Squib Gamey. You got Ballistol. If you can get it, for me, Ballistol is a little hard to find in my area. But anyway, okay.
They only sell Ballistol at Dick's Sporting Goods in my area, and I'm not going to go and buy anything at Dick's.
Don't blame you.
Hey, we got a lot of awesome suggestions coming in for home defense over on the chat side over on YouTube. So M. Gabriel is going to take the COD approach, and so is Fiend Dog. M. Gabriel says Sentry autocannons with interlocking fields. That's definitely nice to have. Fiend Dog says the door that doesn't lock is where you have the Claymore. Yes, so here's a good one. Here's a good one from Keith Gregory. If you set your box out for garbage when you get a new big screen TV that lets everybody see what you got, break the box down before you set it out. That's a good one. Let's see here.
Travis, is the Claymore mine taped to the Roomba and telling Alexa to play Welcome to the Jungle also a good defense?
I don't know if I'd put it on the Roomba because remember those are motion activated. So as soon as that Roomba encounters something within its field of break, it's going to blow up. So
yeah, you're right. I don't know, but
remember the suggestions we're giving here. This is just satire, people. We're not telling you to go actually put real claymores in your entryway because you never
comical
know.
satire.
You never know when the Girl Scouts are going to show up and you tell them to put the cookies inside the door and you forget to grab the claymore. So. Here's one I never thought about. Two Gun Kitty, the Catnip Outlaw says, make sure to watch delivery people as they are casing you out after delivering that new appliance. Yeah. Alert dogs and door armor. Not a bad idea. Or even just your door choice in general. Maybe go with something a little more beefed up, maybe a steel door or something that's got like a cage in the front of it instead of a glass like screen door. Nighthawk Medic says Nest cameras are a nice addition. Yeah, we'll get to the idea of the different security systems here pretty soon. Like I said, I've only got about 45 minutes, and then I got to get outside and get busy working. Flashbang and a hatchet is a good one. Put up cameras. Even fake ones will make people think twice. Man, you guys got a lot of good ideas out there.
Yeah. So if I was going to put cameras up, I'd want them to be real cameras.
Oh, yeah. Walmart sells a line, and I actually used these in the house that we had sold. They're from a company called Mercury Innovations. It's Merkury. They're simple Wi-Fi cameras. They are encrypted. You have an app that you download, and they actually make an entire line of inexpensive Wi-Fi controlled devices. Like they have outlets that you can control. And now that I'm not in that house anymore, I used to have the lights set to come on at different times of the night and go off at different times of the night when I wasn't home because I was gone every single weekend. And I can say this now that we're moved and the house is sold. I'm not there anymore. So don't go there because there's new people living there and they are gun owners. And anyway, these cameras were $20 a pop. You just simply get a memory card, you pop in there. And I had them all throughout the house. And I mainly did it to monitor like the pipes in the basement, the upstairs, make sure there's no flooding. Because when you're 175 miles away and you have a house problem, it can be very inconvenient. So yeah, those cameras are $20 a pop, and I don't know how many you can run off of one account. I think I had 6. And you can open up the app and you can view the footage. It's automatically recording. You can go back and review the footage. So those are great cameras you can get at Walmart. I think they've now upgraded them to 1080p from 720i or whatever, 720p or whatever. So you can
Did you have to pay for the online storage?
No, it would store on the memory card on the camera. Or you could also, I don't know if they had cloud storage or not. It would store on the camera, which doesn't do good if people know where the camera is. But if you get alerted the camera's on, as soon as you open the app, you could have it set to auto record as soon as you turn that camera on. So you get the motion detector goes off. You get a notification on your phone. You open the app, it would automatically show you that camera and start recording the footage to your phone. So it would start using your storage on your phone. It would give you a live video feed that it would be recording. So for me, it was just kind of a spot check to see, what was going on. And they all work great. It's a wonderful system.
I don't like those online storage ones where you have to pay. You have to pay for the storage because, it's a nice thought, but what happens when your internet goes down?
Our Wi-Fi would go down periodically, and at least the camera would be recording with the built-in memory card if something happened. I mean, they're going to probably see the cameras because I didn't necessarily hide them because I wanted maximum viewing area. But like I said, it was more to monitor the perimeter, the inside, because I had a regular alarm system in the house too, which we'll talk about in a second. So,
okay,
go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So first and foremost, let's discuss firearms real quick. Okay. So when it comes to home defense, in my opinion, you should have either some sort of firearm that every member of the family can manipulate and use, whether it's like maybe a lightweight pistol caliber carbine or a compact firearm that has multiple points of contact, like say, like a Ruger PCC or a PSA AKV, or just something with a lighter recoil that they can actually use and operate.
Or otherwise, PSA AR-15.
Well, yeah, the AR-15s. It depends on and I've seen we've seen 8-year-olds that can manipulate an AR-15. Yeah. You'd want to have something, but now you've also got to take into consideration noise in the house. God forbid you ever have to use your firearm in the home. Consider getting a suppressor. Consider having a suppressor on your bedside gun. I know it sounds crazy, and you're not going to care if you got to defend yourself, but the after effects of not being able to hear after that first shot could also be a bad thing, especially if you'd happen to have multiple assailants. Because we've seen home invasions where it's more than one person.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with that.
Okay.
If you do have a suppressor now, granted, on a pistol, it's not going to be that bad, but still, even I'm not allowed to own suppressors, but I do have experience using suppressors in Pennsylvania because one of my buddies has a couple suppressors that he has, a couple suppressed handguns and MPX, that kind of stuff. Even with a suppressed FNX 45, it still hurt your ears pretty badly without hearing protection on it. So, and that was out in a field. So, if you're in a confined space, it's not going to be any better.
What was this guy running subsonic ammo? Because I thought it would barely break like 90 decibels if you're using subsonic ammo with the.
Well,
with
that's
the
thing
suppressor.
is, no, you're not using subsonic ammo. And what I would say is, if you're running subsonic ammo in a home defense pistol, you should honestly rethink that, because you're getting less kinetic energy in a caliber that you need to essentially put a bad guy down.
Well, that's why you run an AKV with a suppressor of 35 rounds of subsonic ammo. If that doesn't do the job, I think you got bigger problems, like, say, an evil superhero villain breaking into your home or something.
On the other side of the coin is, I have a rifle set up to be, since I'm not allowed to own a suppressor, I set it up to be the loudest, most obnoxious thing in the room. And the reason for that is, I think what's his name, the warrior poet guy. He made a video about setting up a rifle to be obviously the loudest, most scary thing in the world, putting off a big muzzle flash. It's a psychological thing. If you have a bad guy breaking into your house, and then all you see is this, giant flame just blasting at you and like deafening everybody else in the room, it scares the person, and if there's more than one person, it'll create almost like a domino effect. They see one guy running, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm not sticking around for that either.
So, okay, I'm not doubting that, AWAG, but if we're going to be giving advice to people, number one, know your target.
Mm-hmm.
If you're shooting in your home, number two, what's on the other side of your target? Drywall in another bedroom, all right? And number three, if you have to use that, you're probably going to severely damage your hearing indoors. So I would say maybe we can kind of split this down the middle and find a happy medium. I would recommend going with a subsonic suppressed 300 blackout AR pattern pistol, because you're going to be getting that kinetic energy that you don't necessarily have with the smaller caliber that's going to be suppressed. You're going to have capacity to back it up. I mean, if it works for the U.S. military in a CQB situation, granted they're probably using full auto or burst fire, I think it would work in your home. So I would say, if you don't want to do the pistol thing because you're worried about it being underpowered, I would say go the 300 blackout route, just because you're going to get a full powder burn with 8.5 inches or 9 inches of barrel, and you're going to have something that's potent enough to take down a target. And I'm not saying I doubt what you're saying, but man, you have something go off and you do 175 decibels in the room that you're in. Dude. I mean, seriously, I don't know you're going to live to see another day, but I don't know, man. I'd be a little worried about that.
Well, what we do in our house is my daughter and I both have ear pro on our nightstands. So, and we run drills. She knows if I yell ears, she knows what to do.
Yeah.
There's other codes and commands coming out after that I won't share, but.
Oh, no. I think that's a smart one, especially if you've got kids in a couple different bedrooms, or just say ears, they go run and get their ear pro while you're holding down the fort, possibly holding an assailant at bay or multiple assailants at bay. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So, yeah.
Should we really be worried about ballistics in a home defense situation? I mean, you're in a hallway.
Yeah, you'd want. Well, I mean, obviously, you'd want the most effective, efficient round that you can possibly fire, because you might only get one shot. You might not have a lot of time. You might not get the best proper placement. You want something. Well, placement, in my opinion, is everything. But you're going to want something that's going to do the job with as few rounds fired as possible. Because if you are firing in your home, again, drywall issues, the neighbors, an apartment situation, going through the floor. I mean, a lot of these new constructions with these apartments that they make these days, they're not like houses from the 1950s. You don't have, the solid builds like you used to 60 years ago, 50 years ago.
So we'd recommend what? What kind of ammunition, Travis? Hollow points?
I would go, I don't know if Hornady makes it. I would do a subsonic, if they make it, a subsonic critical defense round, which is going to be expensive, with a 300 blackout suppressed. That's me personally what I would run. Now, with this being said, my bedside gun is a G17 with critical defense in it. I mean, that's what I have, which is, totally going against what I'm saying. But if your budget allows you to go the suppressed route, that's what I would do. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you run? What would be the ideal setup?
Well, I'm not allowed to own a suppressor, so that rules that out. I just keep my my SIG P226, just with magazine in it, and I have a couple extra spare magazines just in case. And I go to the range, quite a bit, and practice with it. That's the biggest thing for me is practice.
And maybe go ahead.
I've got two bedside guns. I've got the P229 DAC in 357 SIG. We use in Hornady XTP, and then I've just got the AK with just regular full metal jacket in it.
Which, as we've seen in various conflicts, does the job. I mean, there's no doubt that isn't going to do.
I mean, we've got history showing that the AK with just full metal jacket does the job, no matter what. We've got how many wars it's done quite well in.
Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in?
I'll just go with the old Maverick 88 12 gauge.
Oh, no, there's another one too. I never thought about your shotgun. We sometimes
is that using double out buckshot, or is that using bird shot or something different?
Whatever I've got in it. I don't even know what I have right now.
I had a hand in developing the beanbag ammunition years ago. The biggest problem that I got for feedback from that was from the doctors in the emergency room. We're getting tired of picking birdshot out of your victims, so come up with something different. And that's what I did. So putting together the first bean bags, which happened to prove very well, they happened to catch on, and now they're in production.
Oh, they've probably seen quite a bit of use this year too.
Yes, they have. They have.
Not enough.
Real quick here, let's let Gizzard Gary and then Black Hat Outdoors introduce themselves. Gizzard Gary, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
All right, no problem. No problem. Welcome. Do you want to give us a quick introduction to your channel and let people know where they can find you?
Channel name is Gizzard Gary. I do 2 live streams every weekend, a Friday evening and a Sunday morning. The Sunday morning is an open lobby for everybody. Friday night is a panel show. So we have a lot of fun on both those. So I'd love to have you. We occasionally, when I get busy, put out some pre-recorded content too. I like to do some gun and gear reviews. So I just need to get busy.
It's all right, man. It's been too hot to go outside. It's been too hot to go out and film.
I know.
God, it's been miserable out here, man. You too, guys. You guys, us Great Plains people
here too.
Baking. And I was so ready for warm weather around March or April here when it was still in like the 50s and 40s and 30s, and it's like, God, I wish it would just warm up. And now it's like, geez, it's hot out today. All right, Black Cat Outdoors. You want to give us a quick intro? Welcome, man. How you doing?
Not bad. I'm at work. Just hanging out.
Excellent. You got a channel you want to go ahead and promote?
Sure. You can come over to watch. I put out videos on occasion. And I hop to, try and do one video and one live stream a week. I haven't been doing a whole lot of live streaming lately, but still should have another video out maybe later on this afternoon, I'm hoping. So.
Cool. All right.
Mostly guns, gear reviews. I do fishing videos. I do hiking. A little bit of everything.
That's awesome, man. You've been hitting the mountain bike quite a bit lately, huh?
I was there for a while. It's been so freaking hot out now, though.
I know. Yeah.
Concentrating more on like canoing and stuff where I can jump in the water.
Wet yourself down if you have to. If you start getting really overheated, just like mountain streams.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. All right. Well, welcome in this morning. I appreciate you being here, dude. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite.
All right. Looking at what a few people are saying here, let's see. Is there no problem using an NFA item for self-defense? Philo, I don't think so, because a firearm is a firearm in a court situation. I guess it kind of depends on how a prosecutor might play it, I mean, if it's a suppressor probably wouldn't be a big deal, but if you roll into a burglar with an M60, there might be some question about I don't know.
Yeah.
About overboard. Going overboard.
Going a slight bit overboard, yeah.
And I mean, we can have a whole discussion about, well, what if you shoot them with a gun that has a modified trigger? I mean, you do
with
whatever
an
you want to do.
AR-15, sure, 30 rounds. Okay, he might have deserved that. But with the M60, 100 or 200 rounds, did he really deserve that extra 50 rounds?
That kind of situation has already been challenged in courts, and it's been publicized.
Yeah.
Not with an M60, but with your 9 millimeters, etc.
You need to look at it for the prosecutor, the type of prosecutor that's going to go. It's like, okay, so he might have deserved 30 rounds, but he probably didn't deserve the extra 200.
Yeah,
and that's what they're going to go with.
There was a situation in Nebraska a couple of years ago, and this has nothing to do with home defense. I'll be quick about it, but there was a guy that was going after another guy because of a girlfriend situation, and the guy that went after the other guy got arrested, and they were talking about throwing additional charges on in defense side. You might remember this. This was a weird story in Lincoln that happened a couple of years ago. The guy got arrested, and in his gun, he had critical duty. And they said that because he was going after another person with what they consider like a law enforcement grade round, that there was like premeditated malicious intent. It wasn't like a heat of passion thing. It was like crime of passion thing. It wasn't something where it was just an intent to threat, like there was an intent to kill. Now that ended up not sticking, but they mentioned that in the news article, and that really caught me off guard. They said that he was using a police grade ammunition. So I don't know if they just mean a hollow point, but they might have even mentioned it being like a critical duty round, which kind of, I was like, man, now if you have critical defense and you're using it for self-defense, I mean, I think that's an applicable field that's not going to cost you any extra, but.
Well, that happens. You get the right prosecutor there, and they're going to say, oh, well, you're using hollow points. Those are designed to kill people. Well, duh. You want to be a little.
Really?
This day and age, politically, basically, you have to be kind of careful what you do put in your home defense gun, especially if you get like that RIP ammo, which is not the greatest stuff in the world, but it just looks deadly. They're going to say that you're waiting for someone to break into your house. I mean, the prosecutors are going to try to get anything they can.
Yeah, absolutely. And
at the end of the day, you're alive.
Yeah. There's another thing also that I can add in as far as that goes. Some prosecutors will even look at hand-loaded ammunition. Well, you loaded this stuff to intentionally kill someone. I've heard that before in the courtrooms.
Like, they found that you had a +P plus powder charge in your round. If they really want to come at you, they will scrutinize you to the end.
They will tear you apart.
I would honestly, I think a suppressor would probably want to be the limit that you'd want to use to your bedside gun. Also, if it's running as is in its stock configuration, why mess with it? I know you might want a lighter trigger, and I can understand like for a surplus gun, maybe like a P64, you don't want a 25-pound double action trigger pull. That's understandable. But for just a basic bedside gun, I would just simply say leave it as is, possibly night sights, suppressor, self-defense round, and leave it at that. And this is just my opinion. You want to, you run whatever you want to run. So the main key here is that you have something as a firearm. And sometimes I've had people message me, put comments on my videos. They said, hey, I want an inexpensive, I want a cheap bedside gun. I want something I can just have a couple of them around the house. I'm like, do you really want to have a cheap bedside gun? Do you really want to have something with questionable reliability where that one moment of your life where you need to defend yourself definitively, you don't know if it's going to go bang? So I can't necessarily, I'd say have a reliable firearm that runs well for you. If it happens to be a cheap bedside gun, so be it. But I don't know. I would definitely recommend something that's going to work well, that is going to function. That's why my G17 is not my preference for a pistol. I mean, I like it, but it's not perfect. But I know it's going to run and I know it's going to work. And it's a tool and it can fail, but 99.99% of the time, it has no issues, And I've yet to experience that 0.001% of the time where it's not going to function. If it does, it's usually user error or ammunition choice. So, okay, so let's go ahead. Yeah.
I have a KSG that I run for like a shotgun home defense. And then, of course, I have my G23 that I keep beside the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And on the NFA item, there was an actual case where a guy defended his home against multiple home invasions with a G18 and a 50-round drum.
Oh boy.
And what happened?
He lost the gun for about 2 years while he was fighting the court case, but he did end up winning.
Now you said a G18.
Yep.
Okay, that's
Full
the
auto.
select fire Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, regardless of what you use, unfortunately, it's not just they're not just going to come at you with defending yourself with a firearm. I mean, like, it depends on the attorney, depends on the state, depends on the city that you're in, and whether or not they tend to come down hard on people for self-defense situations. I mean, just look at the McCluskeys. We got a president saying that he's going to pardon them. We've got a governor or whatever saying that he's going to make sure that the charges get dropped, and the stupid attorney or prosecuting attorney. The prosecuting attorney still wants to waste our tax dollars pressing the issue just to make a point, just to get voters on her side and just to push an agenda, And I mean, that's sad. That's really sad.
Hey, Travis, did you hear about the fact that they already have been proven to have doctored the evidence? They went in and when the crime lab was tearing the gun apart, they went and made it functional again.
Oh, which one? The little pistol that the wife had?
Yep.
You mean they turned around and said that it was functional or what?
No, they restored it to functionality so that it would work.
What was the point behind that?
To say that so that they could then charge them. They needed the evidence to be able to charge them.
But they already said at the time when the gun was confiscated, it wasn't functional. I heard that on the news. That was why the friend of the family actually got possession of the gun.
From what I understood, under the law down there, in order to be charged with what they're charged with, it would have to be a functional firearm. So the crime lab restored it to function to show that it could be restored to function in order to make the charges.
It's a J22, I think. It's about 7 parts that make up the gun, so it's not hard to fix.
Yes, but when you take a non-functioning gun, a non-functioning gun, and restore it to functionality, you are technically doctoring evidence.
Yeah. Oh, I would think so. That'd be just like taking a car and like doing some modification to it to show it was dangerous, even though it wasn't at the time when it was used or something. Yeah. Man, that's insane. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and leave the topic of firearms as is. The key is that you have something in your home, you're trained, you know how to use it, you are comfortable with it, you do what's going to work best for you. I mean, there's a lot of videos on home defense and things like that for firearm choices. My recommendation is, if you can, go suppress, subsonic, and save your hearing, but you're also going to have something that's going to be effective. Topic number 2, dogs. Let's talk about dogs. I kind of wish Kingpin was here because we've had this discussion before about dogs. If you have lots of dogs, you might not want to put that up on Facebook because people are going to know you have dogs if they want to come to your home. They can do something to those dogs. What do you guys think about having dogs as a line of home defense or alert for that matter? What do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea if you're around all the time to take care of them, but I'm not, unfortunately.
Yeah. Where I am right now, this property that I'm at right now, they've got 4 full-size Dobermans. My aunt actually raises them and sells them, AKC bred Dobermans for people that, she's got the lineage recorded and all that. So we got 4 of them patrolling the property. And if they know you, they're the sweetest, kindest dogs in the world. Oh, yeah. And the funny part is their daughter, when she would go down to get the mail at the end of the driveway, it's a short walk around the corner and back. But out in the country, the 4 dogs would escort her down there and back, and she always made it back. So dogs can be a good thing. I think it depends on the type of dog that you have. And I've noticed, just taking my Corgi for a walk, it seems like the smaller the dog, the more nuts they go when they see another dog. So you don't necessarily have to have a German Shepherd or Doberman or Rottweiler as an alert dog. Little schnauzers or whatever, little terriers, they just go off when they see or hear anybody. Now, like my Corgi, for instance, he does these little gruffs. He doesn't necessarily start barking. If somebody's at the door or he senses something's not right, he'll kind of give these little alert woofs, right? But the Corgi's not the ideal defense dog. I'm just going to say that right now because he's friendly with everyone. He wants attention from everybody. So how you raise that dog is going to be a big thing, and it's going to be a very important part of it. And the type of dog you choose, I think, is going to be another part of it also. Although I think your larger dogs would make just as good of an alert dog as a small dog. But what do you guys think about dog choices?
There's actually a lot of study done and video proof of it. A lot of people show that, you may think your dog is going to act one way in a home invasion, and they act a total different way.
Oh, yeah.
So, dogs, yes, can be good, but then also, they may not react the way you think they're going to react.
Especially if you have them trained to be friendly to anybody that comes over to the home. If they've gotten into that pattern of behavior where they don't bark and they don't bite when guests come over, they might just be thinking that person walking in the house. And like you said, G23, I've seen videos where the dogs run out the door when they have a home intrusion. They have those simulated home invasion videos, and they'll show big dogs like boxers and German shepherds, and they just bolt, man. They take off as soon as they hear the owner panicking. And it seems like, some of the little dogs actually, stay and bark and try to defend their masters. But I would just say, just from an alert standpoint, it's probably a good idea to have a dog that's going to make some noise, that's going to bark.
Oh, wow. 45 ACP just went and gave you a corgi comment.
What did I do? Corgis are great for invading bullfrog defense. Yes. If you saw that, my corgi is trained to hunt rabbits, and now he's trained to hunt bullfrogs. He loves going after bullfrogs. I got this special little whistle that I do, and when I do it, he immediately perks up and starts scanning the perimeter, and he'll look for rabbits, which unfortunately there's not very many where we live now, but they were all over the place. Like, he would actually pick up their scent and find them in their nests. And then bullfrogs, man, he's like a bullfrog hunter, but he won't defend the home. I mean, I'll just say that right now. He's going to bark, but he's going to run away if he sees something that he doesn't like. So
he's not big enough. But
yeah.
I've had huskies, I've had Labrador retrievers in the past, and they were the nicest dogs to people that would come. People that we invite when we invited people, they were nice to them. But when there were several situations when I was younger that people tried to get into our house, at like weird hours, and they just went off on them.
Oh yeah,
and then that's the kind of dog you want. You want a dog that's nice to family, nice to guests that you invite. But when people are uninvited and try and get in, you want those dogs to go off on them because security.
Well, and I mean, your burglar is going to want the easiest, lowest path of resistance to get into your home. And if they see an animal in there, or you have even an alarm sticker, like a Brinks or a ADT sticker on your door, they want the easy money. They're not going to want to deal with anything complicated unless you got something in your home that they absolutely want to have. And so I think things like that could be deterrents. Not that dogs can't be bypassed, and not that security systems can't be bypassed either.
Right.
But it's good to have something. And for us, it was just nice because the little guy our corgi, he would, I might be downstairs and he'd start barking if somebody comes to the front door. But I mean, it kind of depends on the dog. So some dogs are just naturally not barkers. They don't just go crazy when they see or hear things they don't know. And some dogs are. Also, if you do have the dogs, kind of like what Single Shot was saying, you got to take care of them. And then also there's a lot of responsibility with having a dog. If you let them run the property, like here, everything is fenced in. There's barbed wire fencing and there's electronic fencing to keep the Dobermans on the property, so they know not to go. In fact, they don't even go past the driveway because there's an electric barrier, right, for their collars. There's a lot of responsibility with that. If somebody would wander onto your property, and they get attacked, let's say they jump over a fence because they're trying to get somewhere. I mean, it could be any kind of a situation. It depends on your state.
Well, once they jump over your fence into your backyard, they're trespassing.
Well, like out here in Nebraska, there's a lot of open fields and there's a lot of property. And there were times when I was a teenager, and I'm not going to say what I was doing, but I had to crawl over a couple barbed wire fences, country fences, to get home. So, you got to be careful, man. What's that, Missouri?
I said, fess up to it.
Yeah, exactly. Just be careful. So yeah, with the dogs comes a lot of responsibility. So that can be a good system, but dogs are also, they can be expensive. There's some maintenance with them. Obviously, getting them in a house to go to the bathroom, food, medicine, and stuff like that. So consider getting one, but don't just get one just to have an alert dog. Get a dog because you want a companion and something that you're going to put the time and the money into investing in as an animal. So do keep that in mind, okay?
Yep.
So I've got 15 minutes left, so we're going to bump down to topic number 3, alarm systems. And I want to tell you what we use. Okay, just to give you a heads up. We have a Google Nest, which is basically a little hub that comes with 2 door sensors. And we would use that in conjunction with cameras. And between those 2 systems, I felt like we had a pretty good, not really home defense system, but a pretty good alarm system that worked really well. The door sensors also work as perimeter sensors. So if anybody breaks the perimeter, it would set the alarm off. It does alert you to your phone. The Nest system does have a 12-hour battery backup. So if the power goes down, it can keep the system on. Now, here's what's really cool about it. When the power goes down for an extra $5 a month, it has a cellular connection to a Verizon tower. And so when the network would go down, it would automatically link up to cellular so it could still transmit data to my phone. So I could still monitor the status of our home. You can arm it and disarm it from the phone. Now, the only bad thing about the Nest system is they're a little pricey to get into. I think it was about $400. And Nest cameras and Ring doorbells, that stuff gets expensive quick. But I know for some homeowners, you can get a discount on your insurance if you have an alarm system. Now, I've got friends that have like the Brinks ADT systems with the traditional sensors and the keypad by the door. Are there any negatives to systems like that, guys, aside from the monetary investment? Does anybody have any experience with them or ever been let down by one? No?
Make sure you know everybody in the family knows the code.
Mm-hmm.
Travis, remember what I said where you went, with the cameras, where if you have a security system that is dependent on the internet and the internet goes down, if you don't have one of those little modules, like 3G or 4G modules that connect to the internet via the cell phone signal, then you're going to have problems with your security system if it's only connected to the internet.
So that was the one flaw with the cameras that we bought. I told you guys earlier, we bought the Mercury Innovations cameras from Walmart. I had like 6 of them, and they were great. But if the power went down, the cameras weren't on, so anybody could shut the breaker off to your house and come in. And 2, they couldn't obviously transmit data if they didn't have a Wi-Fi connection. Those did not have a cellular backup. I'm thinking if you get the cameras that are made for the Nest system, that will transmit data to the Nest hub, which then can send it via cell phone. So if you have a system think about things like battery backup. Think about things like, and also read some reviews on them. Now, you might say, well, those cameras can get hacked. Those alarm systems can get hacked. Guys, if a hacker wants to get hacked, and if they want into it, they're going to get into it. Anything and everything can get hacked. Your Wi-Fi connected clothes washer can get hacked.
If you don't want your stuff getting hacked, don't connect it to the internet.
The software that I used for the Mercury cameras was encrypted, and I know that Google now owns Nest, but if you want something for the home, and I did do a review on my Nest system. If you just search, I think Travis P11 Nest, you'll find my review on it. And I kind of talk about what comes in the box. It's been a great system. We've been using it for 2 years now. And it does come with key fobs to arm it and disarm it. It has a keypad on it where you can put your code in. You can use your phone to arm it and disarm it and monitor the status of your house. It also has a log of how many times the door has been open and closed. So I could check that and see if anybody's been in my home, which was nice. When my wife was living out of town and it was just me in the house with the dog, I would know when and it'll let you can have up to a 35-pound dog without it triggering the motion sensors in the house. And the hub unit itself, the base unit itself, also has a perimeter detection, motion detection. So that was a pretty cool system.
I mentioned that, Travis, because that is something you think about, because there are some online security systems you can set up yourself that that connect to the internet, maybe Simply Safe. You've heard of them?
Oh yeah. The Simply Safe.
They're an online only service. As well as as you said, the Google Nest and Hub, but there are also traditional systems which are based on your power and your a phone number. So as long as you have phone service and landline service and power, your security system is up.
Yeah, the Nest system, like I said, with Nest for $5 a month, they have a cell phone backup plan that you can get. That'll keep the system running even if your Wi-Fi goes down and your power goes out. You can still have, at least you'll get alerted if somebody would happen to come into your house, say during like a power outage situation. Let's say the power, you gotta go to work. Yeah, somebody tries to cut the power to the house. Now we're in an apartment complex, so I feel a little bit safer now than just having the house. But the other thing I want to talk about before we kind of finish up with the idea of having the passwords in your house and the code words and stuff. your neighbors. If you can, get to know your neighbors if possible. I know that a lot of people live in suburbs and they don't ever say hi or goodbye to their neighbors. They don't ever talk to them. Over the 5 years in the last neighborhood that I lived in, I got to know the neighbors next door, the neighbors across the street, the neighbors next to them. And it was nice to kind of get to know these people. I did have one neighbor a couple houses down who would help me maintain my property when I was out of town. And I knew that I could count on him to check up on my house if there's ever an issue. I'm like, look, I'm going to be out. And this is something that you'd want to make sure you know this person. And I knew him really well. And I had his kids in class and stuff. And I said, I'm going to be out of town this weekend. If you see any vehicles in my driveway, I want you to call me, because he would be home during the day because he worked nights. He's like, hey, no problem. That's fine. And I trusted him. So, I mean, if you can build some trust with your neighbors, I think that's an important thing. And you can kind of rely on each other, especially like we'd have situations where the power would go out, but it would be on across the street. And I'd go down to his house. It's like, hey, I got to go to work today. Can you kind of keep an eye on the house if you see anybody out front, because he would be out front working on his vehicles or working on the yard and stuff like that. So knowing the neighbors, I think, is a big one. Maybe even like an apartment complex, that can be kind of handy too, to know who's next door in case there'd ever be an emergency. But you've got landlords and maintenance people and stuff like that for that kind of a situation. But I don't know. What do you guys think about knowing the neighbors? Is that something that's a good practice or bad practice? What do you guys think?
Depends on your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It makes a big difference on that. I've got a good neighbor across the street there that keeps an eye on the place for me.
Yeah, just say hi to him, chat with him once in a while if you can. When you're out walking, say hello to him, What's that, Missouri?
Just say, I think it's a good practice just to be neighborly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if possible, if you don't, the neighbors are jerks or whatever, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. But that's just something else you can take into consideration. People might keep an eye on the place for you and stuff like that. The last little topic I have here is going to be passwords or code words. Also, maybe practice some house clearing with the kids so they understand what's going on. Obviously, if you raise your kids in a house with firearms on it, they should be responsible with those firearms. They should also know where they are and know how to access them if you would ever become incapacitated. So make sure you train with your children when you feel comfortable to do so. Passwords, Defense Dad, can you kind of, without giving us, give us an idea about how the whole system would or should work for a family? What are some of the, not specifically your passwords, but what are some scenarios where a password might be useful, or a code word, so to speak?
Well, I mean, I'm not a trainer, obviously, but like, I have my daughter half the week, and half the week she's at her mom's. So if she happens to come over and I'm not expecting her or something, I hear a door open, there's certain things she knows. If I say something, she knows how to respond to it, so I know who it is. But yeah, you need to have code word for situations that if the right response isn't given, then something could go down. And you also need to know, if I say this, you need to get to this room. It depends on your layout. And I'll also, not to bring it back to firearms, but
yeah,
you're asking about like nightstand gun. Well, for me, that differs. The part of the week I have my daughter, that's a different gun than the part that I don't, because when she's home, I need to be able to direct her with one hand and still operate the firearm with the other hand.
True, or use a flashlight if say a power out situation or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, you need to have the scenarios, and if your kids need to know what they need to do and when and how they need to respond, so that it's not. It's going to be a surprise if something happens, but at least they are prepared for it. And if something goes down, they have a better chance of doing the right thing.
And let's just say you've got a teen, or you've got somebody who's old enough to stay home by themselves, but they're a child. Maybe have a place for them to go to, a safe neighbor's house they can go to, or a place they can go to if they have to leave the house because of a home invasion, instead of having them run into their bedroom and shut the door. If they're by a door and they can leave, maybe have a system set up on a place where they can go, where you know where to find them. Say they don't have their cell phone in their hands at that time, which with a teenager is probably not possible, but just something to consider too. A safe place for the kids to go. So it's all about having a safe home, but also having a safe place to be if you'd ever have to leave the home. I think that's probably a big one also.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so let's see. We are at 8:54 right now. And anything else you guys want to add before we go ahead and call it? I got to get busy here building the shed pretty soon. But any suggestions, any ideas, and all the 4 or 5 topics we covered today?
As far as the firearms are concerned, I would be one that would be very familiar with the weapon that you choose, practice with it, get some external training about clearing a room or clearing a house, and have good communications with your family. Let them know if something goes down, this is what's going to happen. And like it was mentioned before, someone comes to the house, they don't say anything, then there could be some pretty serious consequences. So you've got to have that communication again.
And, with you being the responsible gun owner, the more that you practice with your firearm, the more you have these ideas in mind and just kind of keep them as part of your daily routine, the more calm you're going to be in a situation where you need to defend yourself. Just myself alone, practicing with all these different firearms over the years, I've become very comfortable with firearms. And in any kind of a situation where I might have felt I was in danger or there was something shady going on, I was completely calm at that time. So the more you can kind of get yourself conditioned to it, the less nervous or shaky or less likely you're going to be to make a mistake if you have to defend your home. You'll make the right decisions when you need to. So just kind of keep those things in mind. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. So let's let everybody here on the panel give us their goodbyes for today. Like I said, I apologize for the short episode. If we need to, we can go longer next week, but we did cover the idea. Home Defense 101. If you're watching this on YouTube or Gunstreamer or GunTube or UGEtube, make sure you guys go back and watch it with the live feedback. There's a lot of good information that people watching are throwing out there in the chat, so make sure you definitely do check it out. So real quick here, Night Strike, let's go ahead and start off with you. You want to give us your final plug?
Yeah, my final plug is, guys, go to store.guntube.org and buy some, GunTube CLP.
And I will get you a review for that CLP as soon as I possibly can, man. All right. In fact, I might I can't go live. Shoot. I was going to be cleaning the firearm in real time, talking about the quality of the GunTube CLP.
You may want to just record it.
The best lube for your GunTube. What's that?
You may just want to record it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to do that. Maybe I'll go live over on Instagram. There's an idea.
I put the link out there if anybody wants it. So. Okay,
well, I can't wait to try it, man. It's going to be awesome. All right.
Even Matt got some.
Oh, nice. So, I'm going to have to hurry up and get my review out before he does then, because he's going to steal my thunder.
He will.
Awesome, man. All right. Gizzard Gary, any final words before we go, brother?
Give him the bird, man.
Always.
Thanks for having me. Sorry I was late.
No, don't worry about it. It's okay. Today was just kind of an abbreviated episode, so we'll try to go a little bit longer next week. So, all right. Cool, man. All right. Single shot.
All right. Well, thanks for the invite, Travis. I appreciate it. Had a good time here with the folks.
Cool.
If you folks have a chance to, check out Single Shot with an exclamation point. I'm going to be doing some videos here pretty soon about more firearms. I've had quite a few that was in my Single Shot Echoes side of the house. It's just my opinions about some things, and sometimes I do get a little bit carried away, I'll put it that way. But
it's all right. Yeah,
I have a lot on my mind. And just FYI, folks, the thing about intrusion in electronic systems over the internet, we just got a notice from the FBI that now all of our ELDs and electronic trucks are being hacked by people, thus far giving them information as to where we are, what we're hauling, and where we're going. This is a complete invasion to what we have, but the ELD systems were in such a rush to get that stuff out so that they could get incorporated in the trucks. They forgot, I guess we should have put some kind of a security system on that.
Oh, man.
And I brought that up to my dispatcher yesterday. So,
fun stuff.
Anything can be hacked, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real makes you real comfortable.
The only way to keep your computer from being hacked at home is not to connect it to the internet. That's the only way.
Sir. That's right.
Pretty much, man. All right, cool. Missouri Patriot, man. Mo Patriot. Anything to say before we go?
Yeah, I got three things. One, I like a shotgun for home defense. And if you come out of your room naked, with a shotgun. No one's going to want to mess with you.
Oh, obviously not.
No, sorry.
That's going to have definite shock factor, especially when it's somebody like me. But anyway, yeah.
2, y'all need to grow your beard.
I will. It's too damn hot for me right now, man. I'll start up in November. We'll fire it up in No Shave November. And we'll just let it go. We'll go full Rasputin like I had last year. So, yep.
I've been keeping my beard short. So.
Oh, Night Strike's not a problem. You can grow a beard overnight, man.
Yeah,
I think I'm the only one on the panel that doesn't have. I got a 5 o'clock shadow going on from not shaving today, but other than that, so yeah.
Well, I've got some of that good European genes. That's all.
There you go.
Those Viking jeans, yeah.
There you go, Viking jeans, yeah.
And the last thing, I know that obviously this is a gun channel. Baseball just started back up. Go Royals.
Oh, I agree, man. Heck yeah. You guys are dang near one of the closest MLB teams that we have in Nebraska, so we don't really have much. Well, I guess we've got Colorado, but yeah.
Gordo's
awesome.
From Nebraska. So.
Heck yeah. All right, man. Okay. And Defense Dad, anything you want to say before we go?
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Everybody check out everybody else's channels on the panel. We got some good content. I have a few things coming. Today's actually the 1-year anniversary of my channel. So but check everything out and have a good day.
Sounds good. Awesome. All right, so out here real quick, Kingpin said check out Foreign and Domestic this Sunday doing a fundraiser for Justin's Final Mission. Yeah, definitely do that. That is the Crazy Scotsman's channel, so make sure you do check that out. Let's see here. So joining in today was Gizzard Gary, Night Strike 1, Centurion 1006 or 1006, Black Hat Outdoors, Kingpin, Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, Aaron Mortensen, Philo, Guns and Barbecue, hello. M. Gabriel, Guns and Barbecue says, I just got the notification that you were live. I don't know, man. It might be my slow DSL connection, brother. Let's see who else is out there. Jason Stewart's in the house. Mystic Guns was out there. Iron Horseman. I think Gunsnob was out there earlier, too. Battle Chris is out there also. Ohio 45 ACP was watching. Mike's out there. Good stuff. Let's see. Night Shaft was out there also. Aaron Mortensen, Ozzy Osbourne, Gunsnob. Yeah, Drucifer was out there today, too. I appreciate you guys being here this morning. Apologize for the short episode, but I got some family obligations. Nighthawk Medic is out there. And let's see, Keith Gregory, Fiendog 27, Single Shot, AWAG. And I think we'll go ahead and call it with that. So, guys, this has been episode number 146 of Caliber Corner, where today the topic was Home Defense 101. Remember, keep those doors locked, keep those guns loaded, and keep those dogs well fed. And I think you will be set. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have fun, be safe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon.
Shut up, you infringed.
Definitely. And make sure you go get that GunTube lube and get off my lawn, Felicia. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Adios, Felicia. Adios, Felicia. Te amo.